All over the world, governments are beginning to ask a question that once sounded impossible. What happens when a nation starts running out of people? Jamaica is declining. Japan is shrinking. South Korea is panicking. China has entered a period of population decline. Italy is watching some of its villages grow older, quieter, emptier. Across the developed world, leaders are offering baby bonuses, tax breaks, housing incentives, childcare support, and national campaigns, anything to convince people to have more children. And here is the uncomfortable part. It is not really working. The world's richest countries are discovering something frightening. Once people stop believing the future is secure enough to raise families, no government check can easily restore that confidence. But this is no longer just a rich country problem. It has reached the Caribbean. By 2050, Jamaica, home to 2.8 million people today, will have fewer than 2.4 million. And that number, small, quiet, devastating, should terrify you. Not because Jamaica will vanish overnight, but because of what disappears first. 2.4 million. That is the number Jamaica will have by 2050. And it is not because of a disaster. No hurricane, no war, no plague. Jamaica is shrinking. Quietly, methodically. Japan is shrinking too. South Korea is shrinking. Italy, Germany, Spain. The entire developed world is watching its populations collapse. But none of them, not one, faces what Jamaica is facing right now. Because they kept their doctors. Jamaica didn't. Here's what makes Jamaica's case unlike almost any other country. Most nations facing population decline are dealing with one crisis at a time. Jamaica is dealing with three, simultaneously. Crisis 1. The birth rate has collapsed. Jamaica's total fertility rate has fallen to 1.9. The replacement rate, the number needed to maintain a stable population, is 2.1. Jamaica is no longer producing enough children to replace the people who are dying. Crisis 2. The death rate is rising. Jamaica's population is aging. The people who built this island are getting older, and there aren't enough young people behind them to hold the system together. Crisis 3. Emigration is catastrophic. Jamaica is losing its working-age population, specifically its educated working-age population, at a rate no small island can absorb. Easton Williams has spent 40 years studying Caribbean demographics. He put it plainly. The Caribbean is the only region in the world experiencing population reduction at this scale, driven by all three forces at once. That is not a local problem. That is a global first. Now, before you say, "But lots of countries have low birth rates," you are right. They do. Japan's population has been falling since 2011. It just dropped below 124 million for the first time since 1970. South Korea recorded a fertility rate of 0.72 in 2023, the lowest ever measured by any country in human history. So alarming that their government declared a national emergency. Italy recorded only 379,000 births in 2024, a historic low. They lost 500,000 citizens in a single year. Germany is now paying parents €255 every month just to have children. It isn't working. The world is watching these giants struggle, and they are genuinely struggling. But here is the critical difference. Japan kept its doctors. South Korea kept its engineers. Italy kept its architects, its designers, its professors. When these countries lose people to aging, the educated class, the professionals, the innovators, the tax base, largely stays behind. They are aging nations. but they are aging with their talent intact. Jamaica is not. Jamaica is facing what researchers call a double compression, an aging population, and the simultaneous emigration of a huge chunk of its educated class. Think of it this way: a company losing customers is bad. A company watching its best employees resign every month is also bad. But both at once, that company will shut its doors. And here's what makes Jamaica's version uniquely devastating. It's not random people leaving. The majority of Jamaicans who emigrate permanently are women, educated women, women of childbearing age. For every man who leaves Jamaica for good, approximately 6 women leave. Not just any woman. These are nurses, teachers, accountants, the exact professionals upon whom a functioning society is built. The PIOJ, Jamaica's own planning institute, has called this a perfect storm. Their own demographers are watching the same data we are, and they are alarmed. Here is the number that will stop you cold. Jamaica loses 500 specialist nurses every single year to emigration. 500. Every year. The government recognized the crisis. They made a direct appeal to the diaspora. A formal call: come home. We need you. 1,388 vacancies were posted. 140 people responded. And of the Jamaicans who go abroad specifically to train as nurses, the World Bank found that 85% never return. They build their lives in the UK, in Canada, in the United States, and they stay. If this story is already changing how you see Jamaica, subscribe to this channel, Impacting Jamaica, right now. What comes next is where it gets truly existential. Population decline doesn't just mean fewer people. It means fewer workers paying into a system designed to support the people aging out of it. Jamaica's national insurance scheme, the NIS, runs on a simple premise. Young workers contribute, older citizens receive. But what happens when that ratio collapses? As the working age population shrinks due to emigration and declining birth rates, the NIS faces a funding gap that no government has yet explained how to close. Beyond pensions, consider healthcare. A country with 1,388 nursing vacancies cannot adequately serve a growing elderly population. A country losing 500 specialist nurses a year cannot staff the hospitals it builds. And consider the tax base. Every Jamaican who moves to Toronto, Birmingham, or Brooklyn takes their income with them. They still send remittances, $3.5 billion last year alone. But remittances pay for groceries and school fees. They do not fund the National Health Fund. They do not repair roads. They do not build the infrastructure a nation needs to function. This is the silent fiscal collapse hiding behind the GDP numbers. So, what is Jamaica doing about this? The government has launched initiatives. They have talked about incentivizing return migration. They have invested in maternity support. The 2025 National Policy for Culture and the Creative Economy attempts to build economic value at home, to give young Jamaicans a reason to stay. But here is the hard truth. No country has ever reversed a fertility rate collapse. South Korea spent $270 billion trying to reverse its demographic decline. $270 billion. The fertility rate still fell 25%. Hungary built its entire national policy around reversing population collapse. Women with 4 or more children pay no income tax. The birth rate is still falling. Once it becomes culturally normal to leave, once the best opportunities are systematically elsewhere, no government program has ever pulled it back. Jamaica isn't approaching that tipping point. Jamaica passed it. Here is where this gets personal. If you are watching from London, from Toronto, from New York, or Miami, you are not separate from this story. You are the story. The Jamaican diaspora is estimated at over 3 million people. That means more Jamaicans now live outside Jamaica than will soon live inside it. Professor Errol Morrison of UWI has argued forcefully for a shift in thinking, from brain drain to brain gain. The idea is this: what if the diaspora stopped being treated as a loss? What if Jamaica built formal systems, investment corridors, dual incentives, remote work infrastructure, to channel diaspora talent back into the island's economy, even without physical return? The Philippines did it. They built an entire national architecture around their overseas workers, OFW program, skills transfer, and investment bonds. Not just remittances, a system. Jamaica has not. And time is running out. Here are 4 bonus facts. Fact 1. By 2050, Jamaica's elderly dependency ratio will nearly double. Far fewer workers, far more pensioners. The NIS has no public plan for this gap. Fact 2. Rural parishes will bear the sharpest decline. Portland, St. Thomas, and Hanover are projected to lose more than a third of their populations by mid-century. Some communities may simply cease to function as towns. Fact 3. South Korea's fertility rate of 0.72 triggered a national emergency declaration. Jamaica's rate of 1.9, still below replacement, has produced no equivalent political response. Fact 4. The very demographic best positioned to reverse this trend, educated Jamaican women of childbearing age, are the group most likely to emigrate. The cure is leaving before the treatment begins. Jamaica will have 2.4 million people by 2050, but the number is not the tragedy. The tragedy is who won't be there. No nurses for the sick, no teachers for the few children who remain, no young workers to fund the pensions, no political will that is strong enough to turn the tide. This is not a forecast. This is already happening. If this video changed how you see Jamaica's future, subscribe to this channel, Impacting Jamaica. Share this with your family in Jamaica, in the UK, in Canada, and in the United States. Because the only way this island survives what is coming is if the people who love it most refuse to look away.